Last week. Last week, what happened again?
The captain went down with his ship.
He did. He certainly did.
We all got sucked off.
He did.
Into
You
the
were all suckers.
We were on a ship. We were fighting shadows. There was a guy who was summoning them. He seemed to have a scroll that he was reading and looked to three members of the group. I believe it was Dom, Ramrod, and Bob. But I'm not 100%.
Well, I mean, he consulted the scroll, and he was consulting the scroll throughout the battle, and I think Iris or Zom saw him look towards. I can't remember who it was, but you would presume that throughout he was sort of looking at all of you guys, and
more shadows spawned around.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, around the three of you. Who he looked at, he more was summoned. And
what's his face? Vican died and turned to flowers and gave us all healing, which really only affected one of us, I think.
Did. He had done his job as best he could of protecting you guys.
Yeah, great job. 5 stars. We'll give a good Yelp review afterwards.
Yelp.
And then, the ship careened into a whirlpool that was generated off to the side, and we all went with it.
The family of half elves and Erdon plummeted to their death. They tried to kill them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, it sucks to be
He
here.
did. Who knows? Who knows? They did. They plummeted into a wet splat from probably, I don't know. Picture that.
We know they weren't normally ooze people.
They weren't normally ooze people. They normally had a form.
All
right. And you've all leveled up.
Mm-hmm.
And did anyone else retcon their character, or was it just Ian?
I haven't played with my character enough to know if I want to retcon it or not.
Yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing. I really don't know if he's any good or not.
So we're just going to go with it.
I just went with the standard array because I didn't really know what I was doing. So
very good. Ian changed around a few of his feats.
I realized that the feat that I took, I thought was going to work well with something that I was going to get at level 3. It turns out it was the exact same thing. And I'm like, well, that's pretty useless then. So I would like to undo that feat. So I have undone that feat. So Zom, I did not have a blank look in my eyes in that panic room. They looked normal.
Oh, I see.
As he looked around the room, they looked normal.
Yeah.
Just being antisocial.
Yeah.
Sorry. All right. Very good. I will finish with our last paragraph from last time. Then we'll move on. So you guys were on the deck fighting. The shadows picked you all up. You were sort of swarmed by them, except for Bob, who had his safety ring thrown into the water by one of them. And then as the manatee was succumbing to the maelstrom, you were all dropped over the edge. As you hit the water, there is nothing. You feel nothing. You hear nothing. You see nothing. Your senses are devoid of all stimulation. And with your last moments of conscious thought, you impulsively think back to your home. Feel its warmth, its safety, comfort. Then again, there is nothing.
All right, we'll see you next week.
It's been fun.
Cool.
Got to re-roll some checks.
Yeah, Simon. Yeah, no, it was good. It was excellent.
Good. So yeah, I'm not sure what campaign you guys are doing next, but yeah, that's good.
It's funnier when you you unintentionally make the mistakes.
Oh, is it? Noted for next chapter heading. Let me just.
I was zoomed in too far and I zoomed out. That is amazing.
Hang on a second. My music research has really not come across to. What? Oh, far out.
Shouldn't it say it is the foolish man? Oh, it won't say anymore.
If you, the quote that I found was, "Is the foolish man?" It is. Is the foolish man. Oh, come on.
Sounds like the
Foolish
quote
man
was
builds his
missing.
house upon the sand.
Where? Sorry, I'm just
Question
trying.
mark?
There's no sand in that image. Oh, just a little bit there.
What? Oh man. Music that I wanted. Here. Ah, there it is. Loud squawk fills your ears, pulling you back from the unconscious darkness. Fight against a grit to open your eyes. Squinting and blinking, you're momentarily blinded by the sun beaming down into your face. As your mind tries to piece together the sensory overload you have awoken in, the dry saltiness from within your mouth brings back a rapid flood of memories from the night before. Fills you with a moment of overwhelming dread, mixed with relief to have survived. Lift your head and prop yourself up in the cool sand, looking around at your surroundings. And just gonna look you guys roughly around the place. Oops.
Looking for Azratan. I'm like, where is he?
Oh, too rough.
I'll just move over here. Here. Oh, not that close. You can be there. Ramrod, you can be there. You find yourself on a long sandy beach. To the left, it seems to extend to a rocky cliff face jutting out of the water, from where you can see rocky outcrops emerging, growing into a much higher cliff. The beach itself inclines slightly away from the crystal clear waters towards a dense rainforest. As you look towards the forest and scan the tree line, a feeling of insignificance fills your body, as the density and size of the rainforest seems to indicate ancient growth, clearly untouched by civilized, sentient beings. Much closer to you, just beyond what seems to be the high tide mark, a number of large boulders, coated in what appears to be salt residue and dry algae, line a small stream which emerges from the dense rainforest. As you continue to pan your head, now to the right, you see more rocks and boulders along a straight coastline. At the point, they seem to be devoured into the rainforest, and together they combine and grow in size to a size where they obscure your view of the coastline beyond. The ocean, although nearly claiming your lives what must have been only hours earlier, seems to entice you to enter it. A gentle breakwater gives way to a crystal clear water punctuated by the occasional seabird floating, hunting. In the distance on the horizon, you think you can make out a distant shoreline, but these things can be deceptive. The deep blue, clear sky is broken only by the occasional cloud, a few of which obscure the sun, which is from its low position in the sky, still in the process of rising for the day. Around you lies a smattering of debris, mainly some planks of wood, presumably from the manatee. As you all stand to look around, it becomes increasingly apparent that aside from the seabirds, you are, in fact, alone. The silence of the world broken only by the gentle crash of the small waves. So, I've just got a portion of the map here. There's several other maps, so yeah, you guys are on a beach.
Okay. So, does any part of it look recognizable, or is it completely foreign looking to at least to Graham?
Graham, you can roll a perception check.
I'm gonna find a chest with all of our stuff in it.
Good idea.
You can roll a perception check for that.
Is everybody okay? Anybody hurt? Or...
You all feel
Like you had a long rest.
like you are revitalized, strangely more powerful than you were what seemed was hours ago. Graham, this is a completely, entirely, and utterly foreign beach to you. You have never seen rainforest this thick, this coastline before. You don't recognize anything. Zom, you don't see any chests. You saw a chest that Captain put your belongings into. Don't see that. You do see some debris a bit further down the beach. Some chests, maybe something like that there.
Rightio. Yeah.
Are you there, Ian?
Just returned.
Did you hear any of that?
Rocky outcroppings.
Did you hear any of the spiel that I just read?
Rocky outcroppings.
That's all you heard?
That's all I got to.
Okay, well, I will,
Yeah,
rather than
Watch it back on
reading
the
it
stream.
all,
Yeah.
I will just message it to you.
No. I'll watch it back on the stream once it's up.
Alright,
I'm sure it's not that important.
Can't be that important.
So we're fighting the denizens of the rainforest.
Yeah, there's a few giants there.
Yeah.
Zom's going to look around. Yeah, make sure that everyone is okay and
Everyone
as healthy
fine.
as he thinks they can be.
Everyone.
Oh shit! I forgot what his voice sounds like.
I expected to see some cuts and bruises on people. There are no
Not
cuts
even-
and bruises.
Not even that. Just
Leave it
purely
at
healed.
Is there any sign of the ship that we were on?
Bits of strewn wreckage that there's some debris along the beach. I just said before Zom was looking around and he saw there were some chests up this way, or not some chests necessarily, but there was a bit more debris a bit further up this way. The beach you're on is relatively clear. Some small pieces of debris, but nothing yet, and you certainly can't see the ship anywhere here.
So Zom's going to point out the debris further down the beach. That looks like something all the way over there. As long as we're all good, why don't we got to see if we can find something. We don't know how long we're going to be here for. Maybe we need some shelter. Maybe we need to make a fire. Maybe we need to put something down so that someone can rescue us.
All good ideas. I'm coming with you.
Sally forth, tally ho, whatever. No, I don't know if Zom says that.
Up the ziggurat, lickety split.
Everyone all right?
Okay.
It seems so.
Seems fine.
Graham just nods.
Not even a bruise on anyone.
Cough up some seawater and be
Not
like,
strike
where
anyone
the
as
fuck are
dog.
we?
It strikes me as very odd, but in this situation currently, perhaps we should be looking. We'll address that in a minute.
He's right.
So what do you
It
guys?
could get dark
what
soon.
would you guys?
We should get to shelter or something. We should look for stuff.
The sun appears to be just rising.
Ah, well, maybe it's not going to be dark so soon.
Well, it's
I'm
going to be
not
light soon.
good
Quick,
with
shelter.
timing. We could get sunburnt.
Yes, very hot.
So, Graham, you said the sea was looking very enticing. He's
Sea
just going
looks
to go.
enticing.
Graham's just going to stand with his feet in the water, looking out to sea, looking for any wreckage or anything he can see anywhere. So,
From here, but I mean, you sort of look down to where Zom was pointing before, and you see there's a bit more stuff down the beach that way. So
did you say there was something on the horizon, some land or something?
I mean, you look.
It's pretty low, his
straight-eyed.
vantage point, so
Just
he's
a
quite
long
short.
beach, wasn't it?
You would see like just a slither. I mean, but who knows? I mean, it's hard to say. It's really hard to say from here. Maybe there's something there. Maybe there's not. Who knows?
Did you see something, Zom? Where are we headed?
Oh yeah, that's right. I've got to go move my character. Down this way, somewhere. There's something over here. I don't know what it is, but might as well check it out because we don't have
Boing, boing,
Rather-
anything on us.
boing, boing, boing.
All right. So you guys are all headed that way.
Yep.
There.
Oh, look at that.
Would you look at
His
that?
exits are north, west, east.
Just drag you all on. Oops,
You
that's-
must gather your party before venturing forth.
Not in a party with them. You must gather. God damn it! All right.
There's kelp everywhere.
There's
Ooh.
double iris. Don't need that. Okay. As you walk along the long, lonely beach, the shallow sandy water gives rise to a number of large boulders. These boulders seem to morph the calm waters from behind you, the beach you've just left, into a more churning, turbulent ocean. From the debris on the beach and the lack of any signs of chaos from the night before you, you can tell that these boulders have acted as a natural net to catch the debris that's now on the beach. To your right, you see the dense rainforest continuing, starting to slowly rise into floating cliffs ahead of you. As you strain your eyes to see any points of egress into it, you swear you see a flicker of movement of a single large, ominous creature slowly, methodically pacing. Ahead of you, in the debris, you see a number of crates and drums, 6 in total. You recognize the lifeboats half buried in the sand, and as you approach in expectation for an opportunity to escape, your slim hopes are tempered, as from this distance, the blows and damage to their hulls will even to your untrained nautical eye render them unfit for floating without a degree of repair. As you look out to the maelstrom around the rocks,
Norman Dragon.
a number of crates remain in the water, as well as larger pieces of debris. As you further come to the realization of your current abandonment may be of use to you. Standing on the shore, focusing on the floating debris, come to the ominous and now obvious awareness of the lack of bodies. Aside from yourselves, there is no evidence of any other crew or passengers from the Manatee. This thought briefly paralyzes you, broken nearly instantly by the spray of a wave crashing on a nearby boulder. There's 6 crates there, and a couple of boats, and there's some logs and a few other things.
Did we all see this movement off to the side?
It was pretty, like, there was just a flicker. Something was moving there. Now gone. It's very, like, jungle itself, the rainforest itself is dark. You can barely see through it. It is thick. It is supernaturally thick almost.
I make my way towards the chests.
Yes, I do too.
Me too.
Perhaps the suggestion to stick together. We should all stick together just in case they do. There was something over there. Don't know what it was.
What thinking, Dom?
Oh,
Yes, thank you.
I'll stick with you, and I'm gonna stick to the other side of Zom.
Graham kind of just
All right,
lags
which-
behind a little bit.
Which chest are you going to first?
I'm going to use detect magic
Whoops,
to see
whoops,
which
whoops,
one
whoops, whoops.
Oh,
gets
I didn't do that.
generated.
Whoa.
Oh,
Oh.
it is a little bit supernatural.
Oh,
Hey,
I don't like this.
Hey,
bit.
yeah.
Detect
Earthquake.
volcano.
Oh, this is the island from Lost. Gotcha.
Why is the rum always gone?
Um, Rod. Oh, no, not yet. Which chest are you guys going to first?
What
Check magic, see
exactly
if
are the
any of them
chests?
can-
Are they? So
Yeah,
there's
where-
the,
So there's one.
Recognize the one that we put all our weapons
Yeah.
in?
Roll me a perception.
Not what somebody else did. And I will assist.
It's the 6 chests. Disregard the clothes and stuff there.
Are they
oh,
outfits?
hang on.
Seaweed.
Guidance.
They are just like bits of debris on there,
Which is
wood and shit,
plus.
small bits of rigging and
1d4.
stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
Perception. That was to see if you noticed the chest.
That was to
You
see if there was
recognize-
any magical thing within 30 feet.
Look, it's hard to say.
Does anyone
So
remember
you
what the
think-
chests look like? That we put
I
our
think
stuff
maybe
in?
that you feel something, but a bird distracts you. But maybe.
Seabirds.
I believe
30 feet.
wasn't it already established that we did notice the chest? We did remember the chest that the stuff got put into. It's just that we couldn't see it before.
So you haven't seen the chest.
Someone
saw
asked for a
some-
perception check, which is why I
Perception
asked the
check.
question.
You saw
somebody-
some chests from the distance on the beach, but you didn't recognize them. And at this closer view, you can roll up another perception check, Zom, to see if you recognize the chest that your belongings were stashed in. You don't recognize the chest that your belongings were stashed in.
Hang on, I would have given myself guidance with that one too.
You don't recognize the chest that your belongings were stashed in on the beach here. You are
Oh,
going
I
to
see. I see. Yeah. Sorry.
You are going to this crate first?
Yep.
And down the bottom? And is it just you two investigating it, or
Yep.
everyone coming along?
Can we? Do we have any trap checking skills or anything similar like that?
No,
Any-
we don't
an-
need that. Just
anyone?
open it up, and Iris is just gonna open
Well, you don't really need to open this chest up. It's actually already smashed open, and the contents are sort of strewn around it.
insides of a mimic. The insides of a mimic.
Iris, just rummage around and do an investigation check for me.
Just while you're doing that, did you say there was stuff in the water as well? Wreckage in the water?
Indeed.
Yeah, there's a few, like, you can see stuff out in the water, like wreckages, but it's all sort of on
Out
like this side
of reach.
of these rocks. There's one is inaccessible in the water, actually.
Graham's going to go have a look at those.
Let's just say that this one here is not there, and there's one in the water. This is a map that I stole from someone, and just pretend that
Cool.
yep, Graham is standing knee deep in water, and there's a chest in front of him. But Iris, if you could roll an investigation check. Okay, so you're
Yeah,
rummaging.
I
You're
rolled-
rummaging through there, and there find 2 nails,
Two nails.
hammering nails, and you find a hammer as well, but unfortunately it's just head. You've
Just the head of the hammer.
It's the head of the hammer and 2 nails is what you found in there.
I'm gonna
Bob and
check out this one while
Graham.
I'm here as well.
oh, you want to check out that one there?
Yeah. Already smashed as well, I imagine.
Oh, this crate is stamped. You look at it and you sort of it's probably the most one of the more sort of fancy looking chests, and it's quite robust, and it seems to have survived the crash relatively well. And on the front of it, you can read on there, Adventurers Guild of Luskan.
Okay.
That's best.
All right. Well, yeah. Without even inquiring about it, do we still have weapons that we had on the boat, or have we lost them in the drink?
You still have the weapons that you were given on the boat.
I'm going to. Can I try to open this chest?
And your hands on it, and you see that although it looks like it survived the crash really well, unfortunately the locking mechanism is broken. Well, fortunately for you, the locking mechanism is broken, and you just can pop it straight open. And in there, find 5 quite long curls of tied up rope. You would estimate them to be about 50 foot each. So 5 by 50 foot increments of rope. And 5 large rigging hooks. The Adventurers Guild of Luskan appear to be doing climbing somewhere, judging from this.
Or did you say the Adventurers Guild of Luskan?
It did say the Adventurers Guild of Luskan.
Did you not notice that? Jeez.
I did not
Come
notice
on,
that.
Ed. Come on.
I was waiting for some kind of recognition.
I thought that was
from this.
excellent.
Yeah.
That's the first I heard it. I don't know when you said it
Oh.
before.
You got a little giggle out of me.
With the whole shipwrecked process, should we be like deleting all the extra crap that creating a character gives us? Like rope and rations and torches.
Water skin.
No, because they're all sort of on your person. I always picture them in like a satchel you carry around with yourselves.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I think we should put all that stuff in the backpack, though. Because you never really... There's no point in having it in the menu. Because you never go, I will pull out my mess kit while I'm around the campfire. You just go, we'll camp for the night.
It's up to you guys how you want to do it, but
I'm
stuff
just gonna
that, you
stay in
know,
my.
the stuff that you had, apart from your weapons, because you all stowed those, and your spell foci, but you've got everything else there with you.
Graham, he's at this chest. He just pulls out his crowbar and his hammer.
Just a
Which is
little
somewhere.
I found.
The chest
and
down the water.
Yeah. Yep.
Bob
Yeah,
goes
so
down
this
to aid.
chest.
It's good.
This chest is quite a nice chest. Pretty fancy looking. This one. It's got it's quite painted quite nicely as well. It's got a very ornate writing stamped on it. It says Fryson's Fine Goods. Sits
That's
in the
why-
shallow water.
That's why I caught Graham's eye, because it's a little bit shiny.
Definitely would have caught Graham's eye 'cause it's a little bit shiny, and it says Fryson's Fine Goods. And you managed to pop it open quite easily. In there's sort of like
Running into a fucking hole here, aren't you, Potsy?
there's a shelf. There's sort of like 2 layers. You sort of the first layer there are
Two ones.
7 pieces of cutlery. And there's some plates, quite fancy looking. And there's
Some what, sorry?
some
Plates.
plates.
Some
It's like a
cut-
dinner set.
seven-
Plates.
So
Yeah.
there's seven knives and forks and spoons, 7 plates, then 7 crystal glasses there as well. So it's quite a nice dinner set.
Not as nice as
Then-
ornate Knights of
I was just gonna. I was gonna.
Obviously not as ornate as the Knights of Schnurg bowls, but there are 7 of these, not 5. And then as you're sort of rummaging through the box, you realise that it's got like a sort of 2-tier, and you lift out you carefully lift out like the dinner set tray, and underneath there is another small locked box.
Graham, he picks this one out. Can he easily carry it?
Yeah, it's it wouldn't be sort of like this size in your hand.
Oh,
Okay. Oh, so it's
Tiny,
pretty
tiny.
small.
Yeah,
Um,
it's quite small.
does Bob
But,
see
about
him as
that
he
thick.
finds it?
Bob's there helping you open the
Yep.
box. Yep.
Cool.
You both see it in there.
Well, Graham's going to, seeing as it's already been seen, take it out to dry land. But before we do that, Graham just wants to see, does it seem as if there's a false floor or anything in this box?
False
it-
floor.
Everything,
sort of-
everything. It doesn't seem like there's any other hidden compartments or anything.
It's empty.
He gives it a whack with his crowbar, just a good measure, as he wanders off. Okay. All right.
I'm just writing down the stuff you guys have found.
Sorry, Simon, did we lose our focus stone thing?
Focus stone.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I've got
The
Arcane
spell
focus.
casting focus.
yes.
Now
That was in the lockbox, wasn't it?
was in the lockbox.
That's all right, I'll just tick it off. I'm assuming we'll have to get it back.
Okay. 15, so what-
Sorry, again, wooden shield and armor. That would have disappeared as well.
you have those on you.
Okay, cool.
I've still got my pot lid.
Do you want to open the box or leave it closed, or what do you want to do?
Open the box.
Oh, the
What's in
locked
the
one that
box? What's
The
in the
locked
box?
box?
Yep. He's going to take it over to the others, dry it off a bit. Is it locked?
It's locked. There's no
Does it
key with it. Looks
Okay.
in good condition. You try and it's locked.
Okay. Can you
Zom-
have a little bit of a fiddle with the
Yeah.
yeah
There you go.
the lock? See if he can
Sleight of hand check.
with his thieves' tools.
Tools. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hang on, can I do a
What were you going to
He's
do?
got advantage anyway.
guidance?
Yeah. So if you've got advantage, is that for
I think.
your?
Oh no, he doesn't have advantage
twice?
with that.
Well, what were you going to do, Zom?
Guidance. Oh, actually, I can't. Sorry, that's a touch, isn't it?
Yeah.
You
Right.
jiggle around your little tools.
Your little tools.
Frustratingly, it doesn't open for you. Okay. Which ones have we got to go? Which ones are you going to go to next? I think there's this one up here,
Yeah, I'll hop over to that one.
this one here, this one here. So that one up there. So, Rod, this crate is pretty big. It hasn't survived the trip well. It's sort of smashed open. You can read on the bits that's smashed, Asduk's military supplies.
Okay.
A glimmer on this one as you sort of brush the sand away because it's kind of a bit buried in. And in there you find 4 ornate mirrors, of which
Sorry,
2
was this where Ramrod is?
Yeah.
up the top there. There's 4 sort of, like hand mirrors.
Yep.
Them like that, sound like that. 2 of which are smashed. And there's also, if you dig around a little bit more, some bottles sticking out. And
Empty.
you know these are recognizable You acknowledge that this is a very good find for you, and you find a 6-pack potions of healing.
Cool.
I thought you were going to say mild ale or something. Light beer.
Communion wine.
No, you find 6 potions of healing there. They're sort of like in a little carry.
Yeah.
6-pack.
Yeah, great. Cardboard folded up. Yeah, good.
That's cool. That's cool.
In an esky.
Rings
A chili bun.
Potions of healing.
that kills turtles.
All right. Two left, guys. Are you looking in this one here?
Yep.
This one's actually a barrel. It's sort of. It feels like shake it. And it feels relatively heavy.
My detect magic isn't picking up anything.
I think in this one, no. And you go to open it.
I like the way you
Sand.
say that.
You go to open it, the sand on it is just a bit. It doesn't open easy. Make a strength check.
All right. Can I call Zom over to give for some assistance?
And if someone wants to come and help,
Certainly, certainly.
I
Hey,
think
what
I
what
need your,
seems to be the issue over here?
I think I need some of those biceps you've got. This is really heavy.
Graham's kind of watching.
Can my trunk assist also?
Yeah.
Graham's kind of watching, and he kind of just says, in telepathically says, "Use the crowbar." And he just throws it over.
Can I also say that Zom's strength is actually not that great?
you guys have reset your strength, right, from the last session. That's all back to normal now.
Yes.
So we're just
Mine-
on weak.
Yeah. Mine
You
was
just
at minus
all
4.
weak,
So
puny
yes.
guys. All right, so Zom and Iris, because Graham's giving you the crowbar, you can use advantage as you try and jimmy it out of the sand and open it.
Is
Did
this something
Zom
that might...
touch the crowbar, or did he hit him in the face?
I'm presuming that Graham has thrown it sort of at his feet, kind of.
Oh,
yeah,
the
just at
hand.
their feet.
And he didn't want to hit. He didn't want to hurt them with it, so he just sort of thrown it.
Is this the sort of thing that I can do guidance on or not?
It's a
I don't.
That's
It's a strength
strength
check.
check.
It's
Ability.
probably not, is it?
So it's just you
What
with
does it say?
advantage.
Is it ability checks or?
I'm giving you both advantage because you've got a crowbar.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't need it.
Iris, before you even go to, you sort of go to reach over and, but Zom's already
I'm
cracked it.
holding the barrel.
Pretty much, your efforts are essentially redundant.
Well, there you go. That
Pops it open.
It looked more difficult than it was. You would have done it easily.
How are you going to open this one up, Zom? Are you going to look in there, put your trunk in there? What are you going to do?
Well, I'll look in there
Actually-
first. I'm not just going to
Yeah,
put my trunk somewhere where I don't know where
Actually,
what's in there.
as you pop it open, can you roll
Actually.
a perception?
A
Perception
deception
check. Yes. Roll a new character. No, roll a perception check.
Perception. Now, can I roll this with guidance?
Want to? You can.
Yes.
You're like, oh. As you pop it open, so the powder comes out, and you're like, ooh, actually smells quite nice in there.
Oh. Oh. Yes, indeed. Do I recognise that smell?
You head in there, and there are 3 bags.
I'm not putting my head in there. I'm putting my
You look-
trunk in there.
You look in there, and there are
He's
3
playing a
bags.
goddamn elephant. He's gonna stick his trunk in everywhere.
puts his trunk in there, and you smell that the smell that as you pop the lid open, that comes from 2 of the bags, and the other bag doesn't really have a smell to it.
Ooh. Ah, that is some very good homegrown stuff there.
Oh,
Are you going to pull
what's
the
in
pull the
there?
bags out?
Mike.
Or?
Yeah, I'll grab them, pull them out with my trunk,
And so
just plop them down.
on
Oh,
the herbs bag. Oh, sorry, on one of the bags you just see herbs. I didn't write it down. I forgot. And what's Schnurg's aunt's name?
Snora.
Snora. Snora's herbs. 2 of them, and the other bag is the one that doesn't have any smell. Doesn't have anything on it. What do you want to do with the other bag?
Yeah, same thing. Just pull it out with the trunk.
Do you want to open instead of like Hessian bags? Open them and have a look in there, or you can leave it as is. What do you want to do?
No, we'll leave it as is and all wander off, I think.
You get 2
No.
bags of herbs and a
No.
mystery bag.
I've changed my mind. Perhaps we'll open it.
You open it up and there's a white powder in there. Roll another perception check. Or actually, Iris, you're there as well. Iris, why don't you roll a perception check?
Anyone got a $20 note?
Check. Okay. Not really great at perception.
Oh, yeah, guidance.
Yeah. You said it before I rolled. It counts.
It's fine. As Zom opens the bag, you're like, I recognize this from the orphanage. Plain flour. Bag of flour, 2 bags of herbs. 1 chest
They
remains.
gave us half a handful every night.
Schnurg's herbs.
1 chest remains. This one. Who's next to it?
Hey.
You see this one, and it's got a big warhead painted on the side of it. Asks on it. And it's stamped Holgrams.
Is it
It appears-
closed still?
Appears sealed, intact. Roll an investigation check.
I think you know my NPCs better than I do. Who the fuck was Holgrim?
Wasn't one.
Familiar.
I don't think that was one.
I was going to say, this must be the most fortuitous boat.
I mean,
guess-
it was a shipping company.
We came from the Knights of Schnurg, the Gnomon Dragon, or whatever
I
it
mean,
was.
when you guys were standing in the warehouse with the humanoid who was chewing on a straw, the warehouse was chockers. There was a lot of stuff there, and you were guessing that this Schnurg shipping company, it seemed a relatively successful shipping company. I mean, there's some nice stuff here. Loaded a lot of crates up. You saw other ships being loaded up in the bar. It's just standard fare for ships.
Wait, ships were being loaded up in the bar?
No. Well, there were other captains there collecting
We
crew
could see
and stuff
from
there.
the bar.
Well, as you were walking.
Yeah.
Saw. Hey, this crate appears intact. Looks good.
Looks perfect.
What are you gonna do?
Oh,
Well, Zom's going
see
to
if
take
it's openable. I'll try and open it.
If not, we have the crowbar.
So maybe just do a strength check for me.
Apparently, I have a crowbar too.
You do crowbar too. So roll a strength check with advantage.
Phew.
You put it just in the tusk, just near the tusk of the painted boar, and you jimmy it open. And as you jimmy it open,
Teeth bite.
Fireball.
2 crabs appear. 2 giant crabs appear.
Giant crabs.
And I'd like you all to roll initiative, please.
Do they look like crabs to look like people?
Oh,
Yes. Crab people,
Shivers.
crab.
Let's sing a song.
That
Right. Ah, lovely. So, Bob, As you have, hang on, who's first? Bob's first. Oh no, Crab's first.
Bob's last. Oh, no, almost last.
Crab's first.
Bob, you're like
Me.
third.
Yeah. Do you need to sort that?
Oh, yeah.
Graham is down the bottom.
Oh, Graham should be third.
Mike, I'll get to that in a bit. The Crab's first. Bob, as you opened it, they're both going to
Film.
this one to the top. He comes out first. And he is going to snap his claw at you. 7.
No. Dodgy.
No.
Jidoji. And
Like, dodging a fastball.
noted Ian. Thought it was not. And he's going to snap his other claw at you. 21.
Yes.
And
Fire.
that's going to provide you with bludgeoning damage. And you are now grappled.
Oh, that's 10 hit points.
So, grappled. It's not in my conditions thing. And the other one, Dom, as you're right there, he's going to, as he emerges, he immediately sees you, and he's going to go first little snappy at your trunk that's sort of lingering around.
Not the trunk.
And
Oh, we'll have
snappy.
Jesus.
Actually, Bob, you get a escape DC, so dexterity save on the grappling.
On his turn.
Your turn, yes, sorry.
I was going to say on my turn.
Actually, I'm going to now utilize our critical weapon success.
Oh no.
Hang on, what the hell?
Did you guys notice that? That crab just felt the flow of battle.
So that's going to be 6 points of
No
damage,
Okay.
and not going to do anything. Actually, no, that'll be 12. Sorry, is that 5 plus 6? Is that that's how crit works, isn't it?
That's how we did it with mine. Are we
And
doing
so-
the same thing where we
you can-
max the dice damage on the second one?
I
If you
think
don't-
that
if
was
you
a pretty
don't-
good way of doing it.
If you don't choose the effect, you can do that.
Oh, okay. So you can
So
see the effect first?
Well, in this one... Oh, no. Sorry, the one from last week was actually a choice. You could choose to do it in the writing. This one, not that. So I've chosen to take the... I have to take the roll.
Yeah.
So I can move to my turn. My choice in the initiative from the next turn, but I'm going to stay right where I am. And that's... and because it's a crit, you are auto-grappled, Zom.
Right. But how many hit points of damage was that? Was it 11? Hello?
I am 11 points.
Six.
Right.
Oh,
Oh, no, sorry.
What?
No, it's 6. It's 6. Sorry, it's just 6. 6
Okay.
points of
So
damage.
we're not doing the same.
So I did the button, the critical hit button, instead of doing the double damage.
Oh, right.
I got
Okay.
confused because I saw the word choice. Last week, the text there said that there was a choice. You can choose to do this. So that one you can do either or. This one, it's just the effect because I chose to roll it. If I had wanted to just do 11 points of damage, I could have just done that and not pushed the button.
It's a risk-reward situation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you choose
For
when you
me-
roll a crit whether you're going to press the
So
button
you
or
can
not.
say I just want to do the damage on the crit, or you can say I want to do the button. A couple
Yeah.
of the buttons
okay.
a couple of the buttons say you can do this. You have a choice to do this, and if that is the case, then you can just say no, I don't want to do that. I want the double damage.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I haven't seen one of
Chris?
those particular buttons.
We did it last week. They're underneath our photos there. CHW is critical hit weapon. CFW is critical failure weapon. CHS is critical hit spell. CFS is critical fail spell.
Different
Where's
for
this?
us. It
Where
appears
the
Hey,
hell
in
are
by
you
the way.
seeing that?
it appears in macros next to the little gear button top right.
Can you
icon
not?
top
Can you
right.
not see them? Oh, okay.
I got one of them.
Oh, that doesn't
No,
work.
that's should be shown to you guys. Yeah. Have you just got that one, Jez?
I only get that one.
It's weird.
Rose.
Huh?
Yeah. I don't know what's going
Only
on there.
saying it's only showing the one in the bar. You can check that on.
Now.
But yeah, in the macros, I can see all the rollable tables and the
Yeah.
2 decks.
Hang
There's
on.
only one
I found it.
button on the screen.
I found it.
There we go.
I found the issue.
Oh, the CFS button for when there's a fire.
Oh, right. That should work.
So where should
DHS for when you're making a right hand turn.
You got 4 buttons there now, guys?
Yep.
That's your critical buttons. So you can choose to push the button or take double damage. They're all. Trial that. If that is not working, people don't like it, we'll go back to the same as what we were doing before with just the
Okay.
double damage.
Okay.
Critical
Okay.
hit weapon, critical fail spell, critical fail weapon, critical hit spell. Okay.
That one you rolled there. It's a good one.
Where am I meant to be looking to see this?
It's in the chat.
Bottom left is where the buttons are for me by default. But I still only have
not
one.
seeing
In order
them.
to turn them on, you have to go to the 3 lines
Settings.
top right. No, not settings. 3
3
lines.
lines at the top right. Near
At
the
the top
cog.
it says macros and it says in bar and they should be unticked.
Oh right, yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
yeah.
They show up in the
Yeah.
bottom.
There we
3.
go.
Oh. Yeah.
Thing I never ever click on.
Right, Graham, you're in initiative.
Oh,
Zom, you're inbound.
hang on.
Buttons on.
No,
this
Graham's. Zom's first, and then Graham.
I've got
I'm
Graham
15.
first. But you was 19.
No, that's you.
No, 19 was the crabs.
18 is
It's weird. Must have picked that. For me, it's picked that tool, the thing you rolled, the other thing you rolled.
Oh. Ah. That's funny.
Zom, you're up.
So do
Whoa.
we?
Jeez, Ramrod, chill out.
I'm testing other macros.
I thought it was beer.
We still have the long swords that we had before, don't we? Now, when grappled, I can't move any squares at all, can I?
Speed is 0.
So yeah, as in I can't. Yeah, okay. Right. In that case, I'm going to blow a poison spray right on this crab. Can I? I don't suppose I can try and break the grapple, because that would be an action, wouldn't it?
That would be an action. So you can either spit acid at it.
Yeah.
or you
No,
can
no.
try and break the grapple.
I'll spit acid at it, I think.
Constitution saving through.
Yeah, 12.
It passes it, so it takes. What's the damage?
Doesn't it only take 1 point of damage?
Does that take 1 point of damage?
Has Ian disappeared? I think Ian's
Turn
disappeared.
my camera off for a moment.
Ah,
It's reading if you. Okay, so that you're still grappled, but you were able to spit a small amount of acid onto it. You're sort of, and you
dribbled onto it. Yep.
pretty
No,
much you
no worries.
dribbled a little bit on its sort of one of its hind feet. Okay. Now it's your turn.
Okay.
Zom, is there anything else you want to try and do?
No, I don't think there's anything else I can do.
So Graham, seeing his mates struggling, decides to.
He sees the people he has not long met struggling.
Yeah. He kind of. So sorry, is there an elevation difference between where I am and the crabs?
Not really.
Am I up a little bit? Okay.
Not. I mean, you're not 5 feet in the air there.
Yep. All right. So he is just going to approach. If Zom's grappled, then advantage or no advantage?
He's not
Hang on,
flanked.
Yeah. What's the effect if he's grappled? The crab also can't move. Is there any other effect? No, I don't have my sheet. Anyway, what he's going to do
He's engaged,
is
but I don't know what you.
He's engaged.
Speed becomes 0.
There's the
yeah.
for grappled.
Okay, cool. He's just gonna throw a few punches. Kicks. He's gonna do a couple of
He does
kicks.
Yep.
Yeah. Whoa.
Do you want to do the button or double damage?
Double damage.
Damage?
Double damage.
So that's 7. It's 4.
Plus 6. Is it? Oh, plus. Oh yeah, plus 4. Plus 4.
That's. Oof.
Plus another one. Follows that straight afterwards.
Very, very crunch with that first kick, and you see like as you whip your foot away, there's a dent that just is a perfect imprint of your foot right near its face, right near its sort of chittering like look at the back, but it's still standing. It's sort of swaying, and as you sort of gotcha, swing your next kick, and you sort of impact the same spot, but your foot just hits that sort of crater that you made with the first one, and doesn't deal any damage.
Okay.
I will be back in a minute.
Cool. Graham's he's gonna move back around to. Oh no, he's gonna stay there
Yep, cool.
wherever he was.
Ramrod.
Hey,
Bob?
Bob.
What is wrong with my initiative? I've got Ramrod, then Iris, then Zom. All in there twice. Bob, you
Not for me.
you got
just
Bob,
in the-
then Bob, then Ramrod, then Iris, then Crab, then Zom, then Graham. What you've got?
Yeah.
There's Bob, Ramrod, Iris, Crab, Zom,
Okay,
Graham.
okay, cool. Bob, you're up.
Bob's struggling in the claw of the
Grappled.
crab,
You are grappled.
going, do not like this, do not want to,
Not particularly nice. Do not want to
do
be
not
here.
like, and poof.
For description only.
You zip away to
I don't know. What's the spell save for? I assume it doesn't have spell save.
Doesn't have a
No.
spell save.
I don't know. Pop over here somewhere,
Reach.
and then I go, do not like, and go a bit further away, because that's my spell. And that's it.
That's it. Ramrod.
You're not a friend of shellfish. I see. Bob.
Inky.
Alright, from where I am, I look up from my 6-pack. I
Yep,
see
6-pack.
the crabs. How big are these crabs?
Well, they're pretty big. They're sort of about as big as one of you guys.
Alright. Cool.
Sort of-
I see him. I see Zom is grappled, so I aim for that one that's holding him with guiding bolt. Without.
You stashed your spell casting foci.
But do I need?
So you'd need it for cast spells as a.
Oh, okay. All right. Can I do Sacred Flame as a cantrip then?
I think that's the source of all your magic.
Everything. Good boy, howdy.
Everything.
Have I got any carrots?
So did you pick a sword or a
Yeah,
Wand.
sword.
the sword? Didn't you? So you've got a sword.
Does that? Sorry, from what you just said, that means I couldn't have done that poison spray.
Correct.
Do you want me to
Apologies.
re-roll something?
Right, that's fine. It was only 1 point of damage.
Surely you must want me to re-roll something.
Reroll it if you like. All right. Well, if that's the case,
No,
I
that's all good.
can only go there and hop to there, which does nothing. Right. Well, I might as well do that because that's what I would do. So yep, see the crabs and run over to here to help defend, and then hop up to here as a bonus action, a little rabbit hop, and start shouting at the crabs. Oh, you pinchy buggers! Over here!
This crab here is barely standing. It's got stuff oozing from the crack in its shell that it's still holding onto Zom tight. Other crab remains untouched. It's confused as a crab can be as to why its prey has now disappeared from its grasp.
Zom, I'll get you out of there in a pinch. 14.
The wind just catches it at the last minute.
All right. Well, hold on there. And I look at the bag of flour and I'm like, when we're done here, we're gonna make something good with these crabs. And that's it for me.
The crab itself. So the top one. How far can they move? 30 feet. So seeing you, have you just the closest, not putting any thought into it because it's a barely sentient being, is looks at its claw and goes, sort of thinks, doesn't quite understand, but looks around, sees something else to grab, walks here. It is going to make 2 claw attacks on Graham. They both missed.
Yep.
So just because you're on the boat, you're able to get a little bit of cover, but sort of just confuse it as it's trying to. And the bottom one is going to pinch. Oh, it can't grapple anybody, but it can. The one claw is grappling Zom. It's going to pinch Zom again. So it's sort of.
No. Not unless it's
Oh.
done with advantage.
It's just so weak that it can barely even lift its claws on your back.
I'm gonna use a reaction there to also attack that crap.
That was that monk reaction you've got, isn't it?
Sentinel.
Yeah. Which one are you attacking?
The one that just attacked some. What the hell's going on here? Is this
Double damage or button?
button? Button.
Button?
Hang on, which one is it?
Button.
CHW.
CHW, critical hit weapon.
Oh.
Roll for damage. You look at the crab and you momentarily you have a connection with it. You kick it in the head. It falls over dead.
I just try to visualize a crab, just like a little bobbly head on top.
It's sort of crushing its skull. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that advantage was short-lived.
It was. You are now ungrappled and free to do as you please.
Oh, yes, very good. Was my trunk grappled as well?
I was thinking that.
I didn't even think about that until now.
Yes, it was.
Well, I shall step through the now dead crab and attack the other one with. Well, it's just going to be a longsword at this point, isn't it?
I mean, so what has Zom actually picked up from these crates? You could maybe do an improvised weapon.
What, the herd bags? That was the only thing that I'd picked up, and the
Oh.
the white powder, the flour.
So
It'll
Probably.
just have to be a longsword.
the longsword would be your best option.
Yeah.
That is a crunching hit, swinging your sword down onto one of its claws. You manage to lop off one of its legs. It deflects the blow with its claw, but slices down and chops off one of its legs.
And that's it.
Graham's going to move there. And... yeah! Oh.
I think you've got the jump on this one, but as you're sort of flying off the short height of the side of the boat, softness of the sand distracts you as you land, and you misjudge your kick. Again,
14.
14 still misses. Softness is just not quite. You're not expecting it to be as light and fluffy sand as it is. Bob,
These things have got a higher armor class than any of us.
Shell advantage.
have shells. You guys don't have shells.
Dean
Yes, we do.
has a point.
Got leather armor and a wooden shield. Counts as a shell.
I'm still wearing chainmail and a pot lid.
I will dodge around a bit to the left. Rear back and let out a pitch. And it goes wide.
Slides down. Slides out of there, Ramrod. Anything else you want to do? Oh, by the way, Bob, the ring is firmly attached to your finger again.
Yes. My ring.
Alright, bonus action, hop over to here. And swing with longsword, I suppose. Hello. How do I do that? Oh, there.
A heavy longsword.
Yeah,
Just can't quite work it.
it's not my preferred weapon.
Not your preferred weapon at all. Harris, you're up.
Glad that guy on the boat wasn't summoning crabs.
Look at the comical scene unfolding in front of me as 5 people attempt to defeat a crab.
Hey,
It's
we're
a lot of
hungry,
crab.
alright?
It's been a while since, we've eaten. That hero's feast is worn off. Just
Yes.
give out a sigh and just be like, try and aim a little bit better this time. Focus. 21 to hit. Eldritch Blast.
Zom just zipping past your head. You just feel this warmth on your ear. This blast just impacted to the side of the crab ahead of you, and you hear the crack of the chitin shell. And it now is a gaping hole in it.
It
And
also
you,
it also gets pushed 10 feet, leaving Zom's melee range.
No longer grappled.
Son never had Zom grappled.
No, but now he has. Does he have an attack of opportunity, I believe?
Would do, yes, correct.
Oh, really?
I'm going to push it 10 feet
So-
that way with an attack
so-
of opportunity from Zom.
That seems like an odd thing
It seems like
to,
a player.
to have an opportunity of attack on. Anyway, alright,
It
fine.
would. I mean, it makes sense. It's moved out of your.
Huh.
It was engaged with you, and it's moved out of the range. And as it's sort of flying back, you just instinctively just swing at it, and you crunch into the hole the blast made. And
Oh yeah, hang on.
its lifeless body.
Got to roll for damage.
You don't need to. Its lifeless body flies past Graham.
Yeah, force movement doesn't technically, but for the sake
Apologies.
of
For the sake of completing this combat, it does. It doesn't anymore.
Yes.
It does now.
No longer.
You guys
Hey, what-
look at the 2 beasts that you have defeated.
And the bag of
Uh,
flour and the bag of spices. Do we
Graham,
find a
make
barrel of oil?
You do not. Graham, make a perception check.
Oops. That was not the wrong one.
Do you want to make
That's what I
fishing
wanted
checks?
to do. Couple of performances.
You think you hear something rumbling in the jungle, but then you realise it's actually stomach. What would you guys like to do? And I'm just going to.
Now, I think we should make a fire and cook up some crab, because Graham's hungry.
I think we really
And
need
you're
to
taking
find
it.
your magical focuses and weapons.
Graham wants to eat.
So you guys.
Not particularly hungry.
I mean, you're hungry, but you've still got a lot of beach around.
I'm happy to keep looking around if you guys
Can
want
we,
to stay here.
can we go fishing?
Yeah, if you want. Need to make fishing rods.
And the trunk.
Just change the music. Sounds like-
Let's pick up crabs.
Can we search the boats themselves as well? Did it
Definitely
look
do
like
that.
there was anything on them?
No. No. But do you roll maybe a? Ooh, let me just think. What would be best check for this? Survival check.
For Zom.
You're inspecting the boats.
Yeah.
Boats look pretty beat up. Boats look pretty beat up.
They're definitely boats, which is a step up for Zom.
They are definitely boats.
Zom's well aware of what boats are.
Has a very good understanding of what boats are. It's not playing. This one playing.
Well, if you guys want to start a fire, I'm just going to look around for a bit. Make sure there's no hidden dangers lurking about in the forest. Or
I mean, there's still quite a bit of beach this way. And
that's where
this way.
Iris is heading.
Going to split the party on the map.
We can do that.
I want to find my bat.
How about we all go a different direction?
I mean, that sounds reasonable. We'll cover more ground that way.
Yes.
I agree.
Just.
I mean, the crabs only came out when you opened the chest, so as long as we get everyone back when the chests are found, we should be fine.
I mean, at the very least, we should just have a quick look, see what's around, and then come back and let each other know.
Absolutely.
Well, that is
how
smashing
you'd
idea, Iris.
Is that how you'd like to do it?
Yeah, Iris is fine going off by herself.
Okay. Zom, Ramrod, Gray, and Bob, mute your mics. Mute your headphones.
Get your headphones.
What?
I mean, you're not going with Iris. You're not going to see what's there. So
You could deafen us on Discord.
I can deafen you on Discord. Okay. Anyone going to go?
Yeah, it's going to need to be you that deafens us because otherwise we don't know when to come back.
How do I deafen you? Mute will server deafen. That'll be it.
Deafen me?
I'm gonna deafen you because you want to hear.
What is he doing now? Hey.
And tell everybody what's
You hear
there.
me?
Everyone else should be able to hear now.
Yep.
Iris has had a bit of a look. gonna see if I can. NBN is not loving that. Let's see if this is better.
You guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep. Can you
Okay.
not
Yep.
download a photo and
Good.
have your camera running at the same time?
No, I
Right,
cannot
apparently
because the
not.
camera is down.
All right. Check Messenger, Ian.
There we
This is what you
go.
see.
I see a beach.
That's the same thing we've been looking at this whole time.
Yeah, but it's more like a cove.
Hey
Like
there, Ian.
you know where the you know that movie The Cove where they trap all those
Yeah, it's
dolphins
gone.
in and then bludgeon them.
R.I.P.
It's a
Ian.
documentary.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
he's
a
speaking.
cove like that.
Broke his.
Ian, can you hear Simon?
Yeah.
Simon, can you hear Ian?
I can't hear Ian.
Oh,
But you guys
Oh.
can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
you, Ian.
Yeah.
yeah.
Potsy, you've sent me the same map twice, which is probably what's causing the problem. Yeah. Potsy, I
Picture
can hear you.
appears to have broken Ian.
No, I can hear you.
He can hear you. He can hear you. Have you deafened yourself?
Or blocked Ian accidentally?
Did my
Have you
my
blocked
picture
him?
upload break your internet?
No,
I don't
I
know.
can
We
hear
can
him.
hear him and he can hear you.
Have you accidentally blocked him or something?
Yeah.
If
I
you
don't
right
think
click
so.
on his name,
Anyway,
Keep
Paris
talking,
walks-
Ian.
Harris walks along the beach a bit further. Oh. Can't hear him anymore.
No, I can't
It's
hear him
a
now.
cove.
Oh, yeah, I can hear him. It's a
Yes.
cove.
Iris walks along the beach and sees a bit of a cove, comes back. And...
Yeah, it's a cove.
There's
I didn't
dolphins.
see any washed up, but I didn't really have a very good look because I feel like I'm getting disconnected from the world itself around me. So I'm gonna have.
Graham's inquisitive. He's getting a bit bored here. He's going to move on to wherever
on.
Iris went.
Is your internet shat itself, Ian?
I think it may have.
It does sound
describing how
very,
she feels a bit disconnected.
stuttery.
And then
Yeah.
Then, yeah.
Well, why don't we check out what's north?
North. So if you were to walk here, you would be met by
Tree.
a cliff, basically, that's probably about 10 foot tall. And on top of that is the thick jungle. So it's sort of this bit here, it's this bit here, about there, and it would be difficult to climb up, difficult to pass through.
Where did we see the movement in the bushes?
It was just a flicker in the corner of your eye, but when you looked closely, when you sort of turned, you didn't really see any other figures or anything like that.
Yeah, but whereabouts did we see
Yeah.
that?
It was
Was it
on the
over here
it was
somewhere?
the previous. Was it on this speech or the previous?
I thought it was
speech?
on this one.
It was on this one.
It was on this one. Oh, it was about sort of in the thick jungle in this sort of general area, but not there. Sort of, you know,
Moving
within the
somewhere in
jungle.
that. Yeah. In that direction.
Can you guys hear me yet?
Yeah.
Yes, I can hear you.
Hey, that cove looks great. We should go check it out.
Yeah, that's where Graham was heading.
Is everybody
Graham,
still
can I
feeling
just pick
okay?
up?
Anybody taking any
Yes.
damage from those crabs? You okay?
What
Zom,
crabs?
you okay?
Yeah, Zom did actually take a bit of damage, but he can do. Hang on.
I'll shift into a crab.
Bob's holding his ribs and
do
wincing a
that.
little bit, but not saying that he's hurt or anything, because big tough man, goat thing.
Allergic to shellfish.
Yeah, Zom's he's almost half hit points. But I can do a healing word. Who else was
Yeah.
down on hit points?
Oh, no, I can do things as well. That's what I'm asking.
I'm fine.
just going to pick up some kelp and put it in one of his buckets.
if anyone else is damaged, then I'll do healing word. Otherwise, I'll just do a cure wounds.
Bob's damaged.
You all right?
Took 6
don't look
damage, which is almost half. Or can no one hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear.
Yeah,
you.
no, I
Yeah, we
hear
can
you.
hear you.
He-
It's like last week when no one could hear me. Every week, someone else.
There we go. I'll do a healing word for 6. Oh, there we go.
Look at that.
I'm gonna get
And
5
that's
pounds
to-
of kelp.
5 pounds of kelp acquired. So where are you going to put it?
In his backpack.
Just vomits letters.
He's not feeling well, is Bob.
I was gonna say, is that the one that takes 10 minutes? Because Zom did that while Iris was off checking out the cove.
Bob, Iris sort of wandered off as you guys. So what do you guys want to do now? Do you want to try and prepare
Gonna
this
go where
crab,
Iris went.
or go for a walk, keep walking, explore the beach a bit more? I mean, it's
Have
you guys have
fun.
been on the you guys have been aware of your surroundings for like
We've literally been walking around for about 5.
it's still early morning. The day is but young. It's not hot. You're not too concerned about this fresh crab spoiling or anything like that.
Well, we should definitely collect the crab. We're going to need sustenance for later on.
I don't know how long the crab's
Big-
gonna last, so we should probably eat it straight
Yeah,
away.
well, yeah. I mean, it would be prudent to at least collect it.
Oh,
How
it'll
are
be,
you- what are
it'll
you
be
going-
fine by the end of the day. No
What are you
worries.
going to collect it in?
We have many ornate bowls.
We do. Many ornate bowls.
Okay.
The chest.
Is someone in particular going to try and dissect the crab?
Yeah, I'll try with the longsword. That's what I've got.
Okay. Can you make a sleight of hand skill check,
That's
please?
unfortunate.
I was-
You
With
so
some
are
style.
you the only one doing this, or is anyone else?
Somebody help. I'm not going well.
I'll help with the crowbar.
I was gonna say, I don't have anything.
Yeah, use the crowbar to pop the shell.
what do you want me to do with the crowbar?
Or you lift the shell and I'll stab you inside there and we'll see what we can
Okay.
get.
Okay. Got advantage though with the crowbar.
Guy did. No, never mind.
Got
No,
advantage with the
so
crowbar.
Graham, you oh, no. So Ramrod,
No.
Ramrod goes. Oh, because
Graham,
Ramrod
mate, I appreciate the help.
I'm just reading my food rules here. So Graham, you
I'm trying to lever open the shell with the crowbar.
so
It makes
Ramrod,
Huh?
you get your sword and you sort of crack away where the hole was, and you pull out a few chunks.
Mhm.
It is. Maths.
Just
Calculator up.
claws and bring them with us.
The
That's what
best
good
meat's in the
meat is.
claws. That's right. That's sweet. That's what you want.
Where are we? So you do. Pull a decently. I mean, these are big crab, and you pull a decent sized chunk out. Probably about 30 pounds. As you're sort of hacking into it, you pull about 30 pounds out. I mean, it's not efficient. You are leaving a lot in there, but all up, you pull out about 35 pounds of crab meat.
What's
From
that in
this-
kilograms?
That is a massive amount of crab meat.
15 kilo.
The big crabs.
Big
Right.
crabs. They're as big
Yeah,
as they were. This claw was able to grapple you. Big crab.
Yeah.
And Ramrod has now pulled out some of the meat from it, totaling about 35 pounds. Graham steps in
Graham
and he
smashed
goes,
it.
let me have a go. As he pries open the top, he punctures the beast's sort of intestines and As it punctures, it just spoils this oozy, rotting, gross. Just pulls through the meat, the remaining meat of the crab, slumps into the sand, and that crab is now unable to have any more meat obtained from it.
Can somebody help
Hey.
me carry all this meat because I am over encumbered? Why can't I hold all this meat?
Yeah. We'll take a couple of pounds of meat. Let's go with my kelp. I'm making sushi later.
It sounds good.
Sounds
Yeah, I can
delicious.
take a bit of meat.
You know,
Right.
you
How
still
much
there?
crab meat?
Oh, crap,
You
mate.
guys hear me?
Yeah, I don't know. I'll take a bit.
How many do we have total? 35
I got
pounds of crab
35
meat?
pounds of crab meat. Now I can't
I'll take
walk.
10 pounds.
No.
Yeah, can I walk? Yeah. I'm
You're
still...
real quiet, Ian.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me or no?
Yeah.
Little.
Definitely.
A little.
Me now.
Right. So crab one, this one here is now on. This crab remains. You guys want to keep going along the beach and
Let's
start a
go.
fire?
Let's go towards the cove.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we look at this cove that Iris has looked at?
If we wash up to the right, we'll go a bit further to the left and hope that we find more ship debris.
It does make one wonder, if we keep going in this direction, will we come back to where we started?
How small do you think this world is?
No, it's not. Maybe we're on a small island
Oh, yeah.
with a
What's an
dense
island?
jungle.
Ian, can you
Yeah.
hear me? Can you hear us, Ian?
Yeah, guys.
Okay, alright. Well, I'm going to read the next bit. As you pass along the beach towards the first rocky outcrop, you can see, eventually turning into large cliffs. A small rise in the sand obscures your view of the beach ahead. The rainforest here juts out and nearly covers the beach to the outcrop. As your eyes shift to the thick, unrelenting rainforest to your side, through the trees you see a slight thinning in the canopy about 100 meters into the rainforest, allowing in a thin shaft of light. So you're looking about here, but it's a long way in through this jungle, and you can just see this shaft of light.
Glistening
Bob,
shaft.
seeing as you're closest, the one who's looking this spot here, stop and turn. Because the light, it's sort of the first time you've seen any light in the jungle. It's so thick. First time you see any light. You stop and shift your focus, seeing as if the almost alive forest will allow you a glimpse into its depths. Lifting your head slightly, you see a hulking beast meeting your eye line, baying and warming itself in the patch of sunlight. It seemingly is following your passage along the beach. And from this distance, it's quite hard to see. It's 100 odd meters, but you can see its face quite clearly because it's sort of in the middle of the light. Its relaxed yet firm demeanor strangely shouldn't scare you, but you sense a degree of unease from its presence. It's a fair way away. As you stare intently into its eyes from this distance, as your eyes link, a small flourish of movement in the corner of your eye breaks your concentration, presumably some small rainforest creature. Distracted from this, you turn back to the beach, trying to catch a view of the smaller creature that eluded your view. But Bob, you still notice that the large beast stand now, and its form is huge and muscular. It's 7 or 8 foot tall. It's like a really large cat-like creature, basically. From the front of its shoulder blade to the ground, it's about 7 or 8 foot tall. You would estimate from this distance. It's pretty hard to get a good view of it, though. It stands and just sort of watches you, keeping a cautious distance. Graham,
Yes.
do you wear shoes, Graham?
Yeah, I believe he does.
Dom, do you have shoes on?
Doesn't he just have elephant feet?
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't think
You've
so.
just got elephant feet. As you're sort of stepping along here, you feel something cool and metal under your feet, and you look down and you see a telescope, which you immediately recognize as one from the Captain Lowe's belt. Got
Sweet.
engraving
I'll
on it.
pick that up in my trunk.
Do you want to give it a investigation check?
Sure. I will give myself guidance on this also. Unless I don't need to.
Up to your eye. You can see really far with it. Looks good. It's a functional and appears to have survived the Maelstrom and washed ashore somehow.
Awesome.
Ahead of you,
Graham just sends a message to Zom. What can you see over? And just points. What can you see over there? And he points at the horizon where there was like a patch. Oh, you probably can't see me, but I think mine's. Can you guys hear me? Because I kind of disconnected. I think.
can hear you,
Yeah,
can't
can
see
hear you.
you.
Okay, cool.
Which way are you pointing to, Zom?
Just out to where he thought he could see something on the horizon before,
Horizon.
or wherever he thought he could see something in the distance.
It's kind of hard to tell. Zom, roll a. No, you look through the telescope as you're testing it out, of looking around as your eyes are adjusting to it because you've not really used one before. And again, it's really hard to tell from this height. Might be some land there. It's if you had a better vantage point, probably would be able to tell if there's land there or not.
Can Ramrod get on Zom's shoulders? Oh no,
I'm
I'll
talking
balance him on with my trunk.
talking much higher.
How high can you jump, Zom?
I'm talking.
I'm
Talking
At least
elephantine.
2.5 meters higher, maybe 3.
I'm talking several sort of.
Orders of
50
magnitude more than that.
50 feet higher at least than where you are now.
That's fair.
As you guys approach.
To clarify
you
with
guys
the
sort of-
beast, you said it was standing. Is that bipedal
Now-
or on all fours?
On all fours. It's
On
a
all fours,
large.
and that's what 7 foot tall when it's on all its fours, like a normal cat. Okay, big
It
cat.
looks like a big cat, basically, and it's not charging towards you. It's just silently standing there, watching.
Does it look like any creature that Graham would recognize?
Graham hasn't looked at it yet, but he can.
Graham's
turn
going to have a
and do
little.
He can turn and do a nature check if he wants.
Yep.
It's going well tonight.
It's
You
I don't know if
turn
he
and
can
point to
see
the,
it.
turn and point to the forest, and you're like, "Hey, is that a horse?"
I just thought it was a tree. What are you looking at? I can't.
The same.
know
What
what
you
you-
guys look.
What are you guys looking at? There's actually a little like tuft of grass in front of Graham, which is just above his head height.
During his view, yeah.
Yeah.
Some gulls.
These guys don't
high
look
off
too
this
quick,
area here.
but there's something up in the foliage that's been watching us, following us. I feel.
Is it the same thing that we caught a quick sight of before?
Perception checks on.
With guns? Oh, probably don't need it.
It looks a similar size to the movement that you saw before. It could be.
Now the question is it the only one, or is there more than one?
Roll another perception check if you want.
With guidance.
A large beast stares back at you as you're looking. It's almost like it's sussing you out. It's just standing there looking at.
Waiting.
Guys, what are you looking at? What are you looking at, guys?
So
In the-
confused.
in the-
What are you
in the
guys looking at?
Bushes. There's a
It's
you know, creature there.
100 odd feet away in the distance.
It's
Sorry,
30
100
meters.
100 meters away. It's a long way away. Guys can see it
Who's-
because it's so big and it's standing in the only sunlight that you can see in this huge forest.
Who's the tallest out of us? I'm assuming it's Zon.
Not me.
I would assume so. Yeah.
Yes, I think Zom. Oh, geez, I'd have to check my notes. But he's
We
like,
should get
Zon
him
on
to hold the
7 or 8 feet
rope
tall.
and like dangle it. See if the cat gets interested.
They could chase something. Anyway, and we've got a laser pointer.
You got you have the looking glass. You could do some refraction. with
Oh.
this.
I've got a mirror.
Yeah.
We've got lots of mirrors, actually.
We have a lot of mirrors. Are you going to look in the?
This is going to blind the creature. Just shine it directly in its eyes.
Let's see if we can make it play.
Do you want to hang
Oh,
Morty
so-
on the end of the rope?
Dom, what are you going to do? You've got a
Well-
looking glass. You've got.
Yep, we can hold up the looking glass. Oh,
Are you going to look through the looking glass to maybe have a better look at it, or are you going to try and
Wait.
play with it with the looking glass?
if we dismantle the looking glass, can it be remantled?
Or you're not sure that your giant elephant hands would be able to do that. In fact, you're not sure that anyone here, your interactions with them, would be proficient enough with nautical tools to be able to do that. That
Ship her
seems
out,
like
mate.
a really tricky thing to do, getting the angles and the.
Right.
We were
Okay,
talking
right.
about just using the mirrors, the makeup mirrors, whatever you want to call them, handheld mirrors.
Mm. I think that would be a good thing to use, as
I know,
opposed to
right?
ripping apart the only tool we just found.
How about I use it as was suggested? I mean, as Zom thought of by himself, to observe the creature a little closer.
Do it.
So you look through. I'm not going to make you roll for it. You look through and you see its face. Sort of. Well, actually, I can probably show you a picture of what it looks like. I may not have.
Seeing as Graham has no idea what anyone's looking at, he's gonna investigate the little. He's gonna stand on this little rock.
At Little Rock. So as you're climbing up there, you're climbing up. You're probably close to 20 or 30 foot in the air above the ocean here.
Uh huh.
Seems
You-
like a good spot for a vantage point.
Yeah, I mean, you look out to the ocean. You can just see the horizon. Can't really see anything else around.
Yeah.
Just with this image.
Can you see out into the jungle?
Jungle. Nothing to see in the jungle.
Thick plants, nothing really there.
Does it
Are
look
any
dry or
coconuts?
Yeah,
wet?
I'll hand you the on the top of your rock that you're standing on there. I'll hand you the looking glass. Do a 360 sweep of everything
All right.
at maximum magnification. And if you find something, do like a zoom enhance. as well.
Enhance. Enhance. I'll do a perception check.
But with
Dom,
What's
that's what you
the-
see in the jungle.
Jesus Christ.
that's
Shit,
evil.
he's gone off the rule book. He's gone rogue. This isn't a DM's creature.
It
doesn't-
guidance.
Doesn't have
Guidance. Yeah.
It doesn't have any. It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't look. It's not snarling at you. This picture here. It's not. That's what it would look like if it was snarling, but it's not snarling. It's just
What
sort
it
of.
looks like when he gets up in the morning.
Yeah, he's just sort of like.
I'm assuming you want me to do a perception
Like,
check as I look around.
So you're looking around. You can see on this way, the debris that you just saw, box crates you went through. You can see the beach where you were found, the boulders, and there's another beach a bit beyond that, which you can't really make out too much of. Interestingly, the crab that you had left there is now gone.
Oh.
Looking out to the horizon, see just a slither of land maybe on the horizon. It's a bit hard to tell.
Okay.
Don't really get much of a better view from here.
No ships or anything.
No ships. Over this way here, this cliff is much higher than the one you're on here. It's probably at least getting close to. If this is, did I say this was about 20 foot high?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is probably closer to 50 foot high, and it would be relatively easy to climb from here.
So I shouldn't dive down. I shouldn't dive down from here and then try and climb up the other side. Is what you're saying?
This would be difficult to
swim
this
across.
Would be very difficult to swim across. As you climb up, you could climb up here, and it looks as if you could probably follow it up, and it goes up quite high to a point, sort of a bit further this way. And as you sort of see, there's a small path this way to this side. Looks like it might lead into the jungle.
Seeing where Graham's looking, I'm gonna head up
Gonna head up that way.
This way.
A natural narrow break in the forest tracks back towards the start of this cliff here. You notice that in this area here, it's sort of a bit wider, and then it looks like it is a natural sort of clearing. It's been expanded upon not that long ago. The small ferns and shrubs are trampled, leading back into the jungle. A nature check, please.
Graham's going to hand back the thingy to Zom. Even though it does like holding such a shiny implement.
It's very useful, isn't it? It's pretty. It's awesome.
He just nods.
Aris, you notice the tracks that in this area here, the plants seem to be trampled down by smaller feet, and just on the edge of the sand, you make out what looks like maybe reptilian type feet, not humanoid
Reptilian?
feet. They're kind of clawed. You know, they're not small.
Or
Pardon?
bipedal or quadrupedal?
That check, you're not sure. And you can see, it looks maybe like from what you can tell that maybe whatever has left these tracks has probably carried. There's some bits of debris. There's some broken bits of crates and stuff, and it looks kind of like whatever's left these tracks has carried stuff off into the jungle this way. But as you follow it, it kind of the jungle sort of envelops over it, and it only goes about basically to just be on the edge of this map, and the jungle sort of envelops around it, and you can't sort of progress much further.
How did Ian get all the way over there?
He walked along the cove, and he then climbed up this area here.
Oh. So, okay.
Over the course
we
of many
surely-
minutes.
Yeah. Surely we're all doing that, I'm gathering, while we're keeping an eye on the beast.
Yeah, the beast is sort of.
Is it actually shadowing us?
Yeah, it's sort of tracking along, just casually, sort of. Actually, no, you can't. It's left the sunny spot. I mean, you can't really tell.
Sure. We didn't see it leave?
You saw it walk off in the same direction you were walking off, but
Can we double back?
double back if you want. Go back and be after. Are you gonna stand there looking at the sunny spot that you saw in the jungle? Wait.
Yeah, we'll just wait
After
30
a few
seconds
minutes,
or something.
after maybe a couple of minutes, the beast walks back sits back in the sun and sort of lays back down and just sort of looks back towards you guys.
We should all just run across the other side of the beach.
Want to do that?
No.
Not really.
So, hey guys, great view from up here. You should come see.
Where is
Graham's
she?
going to make his way.
Yeah, alright, we'll make our way out.
Boing, boing.
Not really any
boing,
debris on this beach
boing.
from the wreckage. It's all pretty clear. It's all pretty natural. There's sand. There's some small rocks,
Anything shiny in the water at all?
shells. Nothing really shiny in the water at all. No. From this spot here, there is a you can walk along the cliff edge. Further to the left of this screen a bit more.
Graham's going to
How
continue.
high up are we here?
From there, you're probably close to 75 feet in the air.
25?
75, 50 to
Oh,
75.
75. Oh,
Cliffs are getting quite that's quite a steep climb that you've done.
So we've exceeded the required minimum of 50 feet to be able to see using the looking glass.
Mm. If this was an Uncharted game, Graham would have just found a hidden treasure.
Well, it is
Yep.
not an Uncharted game, and he has not found an
Okay.
uncovered treasure. And so you
Um,
can
Can Zom stand on the rock up here and use his looking glass to look back down the beach towards where we've come from?
was where you come from.
See how
and
far we can see down the past where we landed, all the way down there.
So
And then
going
sweep around as well.
past where you landed.
Yep, because you said the
so
beach
you would
continued
say-
up quite some way up that way.
Yeah, it did. You've probably come about as far as half. You started about in the middle of the beach, basically, from where you are now, estimating about the same distance on the other side, and then you're getting to a similar rocky cliff that's going to be very hard for you to pass.
Rightio.
So
What
Yeah.
about if?
and as
if
you turn behind you, looking the other way, is that what you were going to ask?
Yeah.
Do you see that down here, the cliff kind of goes up another probably 25, 30 feet to a point. You can't really see much else. You could probably walk another, say, 50, 60, maybe 100 feet along this area, going up the whole time.
Yeah, we'll do that. Better to get a vantage point and see what's around.
Graham disappears off screen. Exit stage left. Hang on. So stage right.
It is.
No, nothing here. We'll head back.
Okay, cool. Nothing to see here, guys. Let's go. I don't want to do a shitty perception check.
Old broken wood.
Is there two Iris?
Sharks and turtles.
Who am I missing?
Hello.
Uh,
Hello.
Guys, follow
big
the
jumpy.
Boing.
No
Follow
jumpy. There
sort
it is.
of- if it's not too hard to climb, but it's quite steep, and you now. It's not. Anyway, there's some bits I need to tell you about there. So you climb up the cliff, and you reach to sort of the pinnacle, and you're probably, or surprisingly, you look down, and you're probably 100, 150 foot above the water here. It's quite the narrow, like at a cape, a point of a cape. On scaling the steep descent to the top of the cliff face, you're immediately hit with a gust of cool, salty, fresh breeze. It would be refreshing if it didn't sting your cracked and broken skin. Rainforest seems to thin at the top of the cliff and allows you a view sort of down around over the surrounding rainforest. So from here you get a really good vantage point of the rainforest, its entirety, vast and unbroken. Only breaks in the ominous green mass before you appear to be a few stone temples in the far distance, peeking just above the canopies like bodies struggling to stay afloat in the churning water beneath you. Zom, roll a perception check with your looking glass advantage.
All right. Can I also point out that Zom is actually a pachyderm, so his skin, whether it's cracked, it'd be fine.
It's always cracked.
Noted.
That's sorry. What was that? Perception
Perception with advantage.
and guidance.
In the distance, like the canopy just extends as far as the eye can see, basically. And in the distance, you notice a couple of peeking above it stone, maybe buildings. They don't look like mountains. Look kind of like, I mean, you're a skilled stonemason, and you recognise stone masonry even from this distance. They look like maybe they're some kind of building.
Like
You
a
notice
ziggurat.
a ziggurat, perfect description. And from the top of them, there's thin, wispy trails of smoke, suggesting civilization, maybe life. Turning your focus back to the ocean from this vantage point, you confirm what you saw earlier upon awakening on the beach, with the periscope, the telescope. There's a thin slither of land on the horizon.
A slither or a sliver?
A sliver.
Sliver.
Makes its way through the water.
It stretches the length of horizon, suggesting a long coastline.
Also, the bodies that are shown in this map.
Disregard
are
them.
okay.
Them. Again, I did Photoshop, or I did crop some of them out, but it was hard to crop this guy out, and clearly I have forgotten to clip these guys out. But
They're just turtles.
Yeah, more
Yeah.
turtles.
They have been. There's been some clipping out for that.
Expertly clipped out.
Expertly clipped out there.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't really notice that bit.
Not
so,
until now.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That's all I can see now.
a long coastline stretching length of the horizon, basically. Not being any expert in these nautical matters, it's difficult to estimate the distance. Deep within you, sense a glimmer of hope, glimmer of maybe home. A wave crashing against the cave sprays you with cool water and draws your attention downwards, towards the water. It churns with unrelenting force. What immediately becomes apparent is the wreck of the ship, which you recognize as the Manatee. All of you do an investigation check.
All of you.
Are we all gonna hold hands? Oh my god, my internet is not working well.
I was going to say, in this instance, can guidance only affect myself?
Where's
And
my investigation check?
How often can I do it? Because it just seems like all I have to do is say guidance on every single check.
I'm trusting that you.
Andrew, so technically you can blast it all out, but you can only have one active at a time because it's concentration.
Guidance?
But
Oh.
if it's a spell, you don't have your focus to be casting it, so.
Yeah, I was
refrain
looking
from
into
casting.
that. Is it possible that
Oh,
the
it's up
focus
to a
is
minute.
only required for spells that require components?
Yeah.
I'll have to.
Or
look
if you've
into
got
that.
a component pouch,
Yep.
you don't need a focus.
I think my internet's dead.
Okay, well, I will roll.
If I just rolled 2 1s.
Don't say that.
a 7 and a 1 and a 2 and a 1.
I will
God.
take the 7.
That was the first one, so. Jeez.
There's no survivors. this wreckage, basically. The only other
Is
thing
all-
of note here is this rocky outcrop sitting several hundred feet away in the ocean, punctuated by a small tree. Despite the churn in the water, schools of fish can be seen below. Their shimmering scales give away their location. You don't seem to be the only one who's noticed them. There's several fins also seen amongst the wreckage.
Captain Thibian still lashed to the front of the ship, or is he?
Perception check.
Oh,
Did Ramrod's
It's-
investigation show?
Well, I did an average of all of you. See if
he dragged him down.
and you Bob remember seeing. No, actually, you weren't there to see him being strapped. Ramrod would have seen him eyeing himself stoically to the front of the boat, and with his crit success, he be somewhat disturbed the fact that the rope remains tied, but he is not there.
Must have fallen out.
Actually,
Anything here, guys, or are we going back to the jungle? Because I think I
Nothing to
saw
see
some
here.
tracks.
Can we tie the hempen ropes together? Get someone down there, or is it too dangerous to do this?
you're about 150 feet above what would be described as a
Oh, we have plenty of rope.
We
We've got
do.
250 feet of rope.
churning mass of wrecking water on sharp, jagged rocks.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Two
And we all
TPKs
jump
in
off.
2 weeks.
We can see the fins, and we're 150 feet up. Just start firing it. Oh wait, we don't have it. We gotta get back to
We
the
don't have anything.
jungle.
We've already found a hammerhead, so we don't need any more.
Which ones? The ones in the water, or
No, you said before we found 2 nails and a hammerhead.
did find a hammerhead but no handle?
I've got a hammer.
All right. Well, do you guys want to call it a night here, or do you want to wander back to the beach and have a look at the crab that's gone mysteriously missing, or investigate that track a bit more, or what do you want to do?
Just thinking we could fashion a hook.
Do you have
I got
by
hooked.
have
tying
grapple
the hempen grappling hook by tying the hempen rope around it? Because as we say, 250 feet, we could get a whole bunch of planks.
so?
And what? Surf back down the cliff?
Yep.
So you would picture that yes, you could get down to the bottom of these cliffs. There's no way
No,
you
no,
would be
no.
able to.
We're throwing the grappling hook from where
Oh,
we are.
okay.
Hauling
I
back up.
mean, if that's what you want to do with it, sure.
It's really easy to balance a long plank on a grappling hook and pull it up 150
without-
meters.
150 feet of rope.
Without question, that'll be easy.
Challenge every 10 feet.
It's gonna be a long night.
I mean, or counterpoint, you've already passed probably the equal amount of log and planks along the beach that are in the water there. And
We
these
could-
the ones on the beach weren't moving and churning like these ones are. It's
We
not
could
only
double
these
the amount of planks that we can get.
Sure you could, Som. Sure you could.
Try and get a fish with a grappling hook.
Sure you could, Bob. Sure you could. You could certainly try.
I'm headed back. This
Yeah,
has been fun.
me too. Let's
Ramrod?
go investigate that little
The
Trail.
trail.
That
Wasn't there
trail
a
we
trail
found.
of
Mm.
reptilian
Trail?
somethings?
As Ramrod's going, I'm just gonna look and see what kind of tracks he's making. Like, yeah, these look more lizardy.
Alright, so you guys go back to the trail.
Can Zom determine what might have made them? Zom's a bit naturous and
From a
Zom
sniff.
plantish.
Zom could do a nature check.
again with guidance if it's all good.
Okay, let me look down at the tracks. You guys are rolling really well. You look down at the
No,
tracks.
no. Just Zong.
Guys
Just
down.
odd.
Well,
Yeah.
in Ramrod's 21 and Graham's 3 critical hits in the fight. And,
To be fair,
I
Zom's
also rolled a
had
few
some
ones.
pretty bad rolls, yeah.
so
In a
you're
previous life.
Zom, you're looking at the trampled down leaf matter, and so like, well, this is hard to track here. You get your trunk and you sort of just dust away just a bit of the leaf litter, just really gently. And let me just show you approximately. I'll have to just upload a picture. What the foot you suspect might look like. It's probably only a similar size to yours, but I'm just gonna. Oh, actually, probably here would be better. Sorry, I just have to save the picture of this foot, and then I'll upload it for you.
For your fetish folder.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Feats.
Wasn't expecting you guys to all that
Yeah.
well or investigate the.
You should never
Investigate,
expect
please.
us to do anything. Remember what it was like when you were on the other side?
Do. Alright, hang on.
Are there any native cabbages?
Hey, I've started collecting some kelp.
So you look at the track that's there, Zom, and you're like, You describe to the party this foot, and I would like you to describe that foot now to them.
It's about a foot long. Yeah.
It would be about as it would be about as big as
Sorry, did you? You haven't sent me a picture of this foot or anything.
I think I sent it to everybody, didn't I?
Nah.
No.
Oh, it's just a
there we
ball
go.
now.
Oh, there we go. Oh, it's like a
Oh, hello.
velociraptor.
What's a velociraptor?
Yeah.
It's
Strange word. Is this an elephant
came
pet?
to me in a dream. This is definitely. Jesus, I can hardly say it. It appears somewhat reptilian. Could be.
Chris has no idea what it is.
It could be somewhat bird-like also. It could be bird-like reptilian. Could be bird reptiles. Bird tiles.
Bird reptiles.
We hope that.
You would
I'm sorry,
you'd
Dom, did
estimate-
you say you're a master of the nature of stars?
No. So I know the plants. I know what the plants are like, but you know, if something passes the plants, I might be able to determine what it is.
Flora, not the fauna.
But exactly. That's yes.
You're
Yes,
saying it's a giant chicken.
it could very well be.
He's not saying that it's not.
And
He's not saying anything.
and if it is, then we can harvest it like we did the crab.
You would estimate from the print. You would estimate the weight and size to be that of Iris, basically.
It's fairly small.
Compared to you,
Why are you looking at me?
compared to Graham and Bob and Ramrod, it's probably a bit bigger.
I say we go. Let's follow the trail.
Follow the rabbit.
The trail
bouncing off.
sort of. You get to about here. The trail is met
About
with
there.
thick
Oh, that's
undergrowth,
great.
That's right. Start slashing with the longsword.
Are there any pointy sticks or anything Graham could pick up and use as a staff? Doesn't even have to be pointy. Just wants a staff.
I mean, you can
What's the
start
creature?
slashing with the longsword, and you're not making much progress. The jungle is thick.
What's the creature doing?
Creature, can't see it.
We're following the tracks.
Don't know where it is. Where it's gone. It was
We only saw
over
the
there, and
footprint,
then
not the foot.
We must remain vigilant. No, not that creature. The
Oh, that
cat.
one. The cat creature.
The big cat.
You guys talking about a big cat? What the? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Ramrod. Well, actually, so you guys want to try and cut through the jungle here?
Yep.
Or using your short sword,
Longsword.
longsword, sorry.
Yep.
Ramrod. Okay, do an attack.
Hooray.
So you swing down, and I'm just trying to picture how it would work. So you've swung down into this root, trying to like the track sort of dissipates into the. Initially, it's sort of shrubs, and then it gets quite thick. And now you've sort of reached a point where you can no longer make much more penetration into the jungle. You swing your longsword down, and you hit a root that's blocking your way and expect to cut through it. You sort of put. Can you do a strength check?
It's not going to be pretty.
Pull your sword out. Pull your sword out. Look at the impact that you made in the root. You hit it brilliantly, and you are honestly surprised that you were able to get your strength was more impressive than you expected to be able to pull it out of that root. But you don't expect that you'll be able to cut through these with this short sword, and you certainly. From looking, sort of peering through the roots, it continues like this for some time.
Okay, well, I tried.
You don't think
but
this is going to be somewhere you can pass through.
I don't think I'm going to be able to cut through this. Anybody else got any ideas?
The tracks just sort of disappear into the jungle. You sort of lose trail when it's in like the undergrowth. It becomes too hard for you to sort of. Much more.
I just want to. I'm going to bring up my detect magic again and just see if this is a magical area, because from what I can see, we should be chopping straight through.
There is certainly a jungle has a bit of a glow to it.
The entire jungle does. Okay. And while I'm at it, I'm just going to have a quick little glance at the rest of the people.
You see. Just picture what you would see. Graham's pocket lights up. And trying to keep track of whatever I have. So yeah, Graham's pocket. There's a glow from Graham's pocket. Bob's ring glows brightly, very brightly.
On his fingers or the other one?
Ring on his finger glows
checking.
brightly.
We did have a hero's feast.
Oh yeah,
pretty-
is that still active?
That's long
No.
gone.
Right. Okay.
Zom looks dull.
Oh,
Ramrod.
arse.
I mean, Ramrod has like tiny little flecks of magic all over him, but I think particular in general.
Think a vampire out in the sun.
And yeah, that's everyone.
Well, this, I think, this forest has a bit of magic to it, which does not bode well for us. I might explain a few things as to why we're here, why we're endangered. There's tracks on the ground. Obviously, some stuff has gone through here. Ramrod, you can't cut through, so has anyone got any other ideas?
All I can think of is that bit of jungle that we saw that light was getting through, where that cat was.
The undergrowth here looks similar to the undergrowth that you would have to get through to get to that spot.
All impassable terrain.
Pretty well.
There's this whole path around the back.
Yeah, I was
This
looking at
is-
that.
Ignore that path. Ignore
Again.
the dead people.
Again, I've dealt with certain maps that I can work with, okay?
Ignore the fun fair, which is a little bit to the north.
Roller coasters. And...
I guess we better head back to the other section of the beach.
Have we got any idea how much jungle we're trying to go through? I mean, there was a path and then it just disappeared, right?
I mean, the path just didn't disappear. It kind of, the jungle sort of gradually took back over.
Yeah, okay.
And
Yeah, it's moved into deeper undergrowth that we can't
yeah,
pass.
With the jungle, how big are the trees, and do they look climbable to somebody who's quite dexterous? If we wanted to try and get somebody up towards the top to have a look around.
so you could do that. You had a pretty good view of the whole jungle from the cliff you were on just a second ago. And you can see that this is from there you had a pretty good view of the top of the trees. It's a thick, dense, ancient looking jungle. Trees there are, you know,
Be nothing to be
they look
learned.
to be nothing. You would think that the view you got from the cliffs before would give you a better view than climbing any trees here would.
How high is the sun right now?
Probably now looking at close to mid-morning. And Iris, you're starting to feel a bit thirsty. Mouth's pretty dry.
More cracked skin.
What
What
Salt
if
water
we try and burn it?
and the jungle
Yep.
is moist. It's a
You're-
rainforest.
You're moist.
Oh.
Well, I'll just have a.
All right, we should perhaps go back to the other map. The other- yeah.
No way
area.
through this way.
Back to
So-
to where we landed, you mean?
Well, we're going to call it an evening.
Yeah. I think that
Well,
would be good at this point.
Call it an evening here.
We'll head back to the other map, and then
Do the
call it
debris.
an evening.
So I've named them. This is Cliff Cove. There's Debris Beach, which is where you fought the crabs. There's Central Beach, which is where you found yourselves, and then there's the Wreck, which is where the ship is. So
Can we just? Is the beast the cat beast?
The Crab Beach.
The follow
we
us?
go to Debris Beach.
Leave Cliff Claven and move to Central Beach.
Central Beach is where you where you found
Yeah.
yourselves. The other crab is now gone.
Is there any tracks?
Similar
Yeah.
to the ones that you just saw.
Okay.
Is there enough moisture in the crab leg I got that I'm not feeling so thirsty?
You're still pretty thirsty, man.
And
Iris.
are those tracks going this direction, like up this cliff? You said there's a cliff here, right?
Yep. So this stone here is like a 10-foot or so cliff, and they lead to the cliff, and then they're gone.
I think we should leave some bait for them.
I think we did. They took it.
Yeah, but we weren't ready to.
It's like building a Trojan horse and not getting in it.
There's more. There's obviously, enough of these footprints to indicate that there was a group of them that pulled this. You can see them dragging the crab shell, and disappears to the cliff.
We do have 35 pounds of crab meat left.
You do have 35 pounds of crab meat. Big crab. Enough to grapple Zom. Let's not forget.
Gonna have a drink of water from my flask
Yeah.
if I'm thirsty.
It was just a general comment that, you know, it's been a while since you guys have had a drink, so that's something you might need to be thinking about. But
It's a survival sim. All right.
Yeah, survival.
We're gonna do
Survival.
I haven't peed or
We need
taken a
to
dump
collect-
at this point.
We need to collect some grass.
I went
collect
when
some
we
grass
fell
and
off the
kelp.
boat.
First thing we need to build is a forge. Need to be
We're
able to make
using
an
the-
axe
I have-
so that we can chop down
I
some
have met-
trees.
You may have met
Let's
your
go.
wife, Potsy.
Pardon?
We're using that new encumbrance system where each gold piece weighs 1 pound.
Oh man, I'm well over encumbered
Holy
with all that
shit.
crap.
Really?
Do you guys want to do it next week or end it here?
I think we
Oh,
should end it here for the moment.
Yeah, I'm ready to end it here.
End of it.
Thinking time.
So we all slash our throats and
Well, we're
I
thirsty.
don't have
so-
anything to. I've,
Just
No,
just to recap the size of the beach, you've explored about half of it. You could tell from the vantage points from that sort of cove that you were on. Probably got about a half a beach to explore yet.
and does more of it go to the right? Is that the bit that we haven't
The-
explored?
This
to
isn't
the
even where
right.
you landed.
The bit you landed from the vantage point that you saw on those cliffs is about halfway because there was the stream that sort of flowed into the jungle. You could see that's about halfway along the beach.
I'm sorry, the stream flowed into the jungle.
So it came from the
You know what he means.
Strange
track.
island.
It's 11 o'clock. It's been a weird day. It flowed out of the jungle. I mean, you couldn't tell from where it was.
Maybe it does flow into the jungle.
Who knows?
True. Like,
Who knows?
No,
There
fair
was
enough.
a
I couldn't tell.
magical glow from the trees.
It's a weird place.
All right. Well, if we've got nothing else for this evening, other
Thanks.
harebrained schemes, we will call it an evening.
Harebrained schemes.
On mysterious beach.
Wait, is there a hatch?
What'd you call me?
There's
Did- I
some
did-
mysterious.
I did say a very, very long time ago, Ian, that you're going to think this is a particular TV show to start with. And you immediately thought
Lost.
that. It was one of the first things you said. Is
Yeah.
this Lost?
It's an episode of Lost.
No, you are not playing D&D Lost. Hopefully it makes more sense and is not as weird and shit. Who knows, it probably will be both of those things.
Monster. All right. Yeah. It's fine. We'll pick this up next week. I'm
Yeah,
looking
we'll
forward to
pick this
figuring
up
out what is
next week. Try and work out
pick it up next week.
what you would like to do.
We level up again.
Same
On-
crab time, same crab channel.
Might put some rough notes in beaches that you found, and do a session report shortly. Otherwise, catch
Cool.
you guys
Thanks,
later.
Potsy.
Sweet. Yep.
Catch you
Cheers.
later.
Bye.